come on and do another video. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but it hit me today, right when I got home. And what I like to say is that I'm grateful because of the things that I've been through, because of what the Holy Spirit let happen. Not all the time the things that we go through are supposed to be understood or understand what we're going through because we're all sitting here for lessons. And sometimes those lessons are hard, but sometimes those lessons are whether you can handle them or not. And most people, the Holy Spirit is not going to put you through something that it doesn't think that you can handle. But a lesson that I learned, it was touch and go because I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it or not, whether I was going to make it through it. But the Holy Spirit had His energy over me. And some of those lessons are to let you know exactly who you are. Definitely to let you know what you're made of. But it also lets you know what's your boundaries, what you will and what you won't take. So I ran into a acquaintance today, and it came to a part where we were talking about spiritual work and his workings and him being busy and how his work is taking off, and um, he says it feels pretty. I can't remember the word for word what he says it feels like, but it's nice for him. I mean, he's in an atmosphere that feels really nice, feels really angelic, so to speak. And it brought up some old memories of my past because he mentioned a place that I worked at before, and I told him the reasons why I didn't, because he invited me there before, and I was like, no. And I wanted to talk to him in person about it, and I did. But I didn't want to go into too much detail, because um, these were some hurtful things that happened to me. It almost destroyed me, but it didn't. They're karmics that are put in our life for a reason. And I can honestly say I'm grateful for this karmic, because had it not been for this karmic, I don't know how long before I would have found out who I am. But because this karmic put me through what they put me through, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I now know who I am. because the Holy Spirit let me know who I am. I don't have to get validation from anyone because the Holy Spirit already showed me exactly who I am. But if it hadn't have been for what I went through, no telling how long it would have took for me to find out who I am. Because the Holy Spirit was showing me the whole time. But this associate that I talked to today, um, it was like bringing up some old stuff, and I really didn't think it was gonna. It didn't bother me, but it was just something that I just really didn't want to get into. Probably if he hadn't mentioned this certain place, it probably wouldn't have ever came up, but it did. And this place was gave me my very first shot in the spiritual community. And like I said, we learn lessons, and that's what we're here for. All of these things are lessons, but these lessons you need to learn from them. But in the midst of learning from them, the most thing that you will learn is what you will accept and what you will not accept. You will know your worth. I didn't think it was going to affect me as much when I spoke about it, and I really didn't get into detail with him. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to feed that energy. And not like I'm not. It's not like I'm not over it because I am. Just something that made me think, because if these things didn't happen to me, where would I be? If they didn't happen, where would I be? Slowly but surely, I'm getting back to myself, feeling that nostalgia of being angelic. Slowly, here recently, last couple of weeks, I've been feeling that nostalgia of being angelic because at that time of my ex false flame, I was angelic. I was very angelic, very extraterrestrial, um, very naive, very innocent. And when someone takes advantage of you, because knowing you don't know any better, you're new to the spiritual community, you're new to things that are going on around you, and there's so much excitement, you know, but you don't know the dangers. You don't know the influence of what people may do or say, and you don't know how far these people reach is in the spiritual community. I say to anyone that's new to the spiritual community, new to spirituality, be careful, and especially when you want to be of service and work in this type of atmosphere. I would say be careful because it can lead you down the wrong path, lead you into some occult group. You know, you could be initiated and not even know it. You know, you can be signing contracts and not even know it. You know, so you need to, I would say, be careful on who that you entertain. I was naive. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know about witches, warlocks, and sorcerers, and voodoo priests, and all these other things. I mean, of course, I knew about Luciferians and all this other stuff, but and Masons and Knight Templar and all these other things. But so far as witches, warlocks, and sorcerers and voodoo priests, I didn't know anything about it. And that's not something you go around questioning about, what they do, what are they into? Because at that point, you open up a can of worms, you know. I just truly am grateful for what happened to me because I just sit back and I think, what if this, what if this didn't happen? Because so far as so far as I know, things are, there's no such thing for the Holy Spirit as time, but for me, it was time and it was a need to be pushed ahead because my time is short. And just because it may seem bad, but in actuality, it could literally save your life or it could actually put you exactly where you need to be. Bad things some people, it's normally karmic. It's normally karma. Something you did in a past life, something you did in this life. But every situation is different. Every situation is not the same. It's different. But when the Holy Spirit puts you in the mix, the Holy Spirit puts you in a storm, it's probably for your best good. Me being put in a storm and not knowing if I was going to make it out of there was it's really a blessing, because of all the things that I saw, all of the all of those that was guided to me, being whether they had a demonic attachment, which there was two that had demonic attachments, and the Holy Spirit sent to me, but it was information that was needed, because what was shown to me in before each person came through, they came and asked the same question, what was shown to me, but I didn't know this was what the Holy Spirit was showing me. But these people would come in and ask me, have you seen this? Do you know about this? Do you know about that? And I'm like, no, but actuality, I did, because the Holy Spirit sent it to me in a vision. But I just think about all the things that's been shown to me, and what led up to, step by step, what you may seem and think is bad, and especially when the Holy Spirit puts you in it. The Holy Spirit literally puts you in the middle of a storm. What you may think is bad is not. It's a lesson. It's it's to push you forward. It's like being at a crossroads, and here you get pushed forward. I mention a crossroads for a reason, because a dream I had just recently. And it's like I was running from a tsunami. When I first saw the tsunami, it was during the day. And then the scene changed, and then it's nighttime. And when I get out this vehicle, I hear rumbling. And I look to my right and I look up, and there's that tsunami again. And here I run to the end of the street, and there's a T section. And in front of me is a gate. Well, I get pushed right through that gate instead of being able to go right or left. So this is what I'm saying. It's like the Holy Spirit puts you in a storm. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad.
Only at Taco Bell.
Does not necessarily mean it's bad. Sorry.
It's the truck. Get 0.9% AP.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Some people may think it's bad, but it's not. It's really not bad. But I just sat back and thought about it today after seeing this guy and was talking to him and was like, I didn't think our topic for conversation was going to go that direction. But when I started talking about events and stuff like that, and he was telling me where this other event's going to be, this other event's going to be, and all of a sudden he brought that one place up, and I was like, oh man, here we go. But if it wasn't for that happened, where would I be? The Holy Spirit just took me out of a situation that I wasn't supposed to be in the first place. And it was its way of protecting me. And I question, why? Why am I? Why is it has to be this route? Do I really have to take this walk? And the Holy Spirit said, yeah. But it was for my own good. But it was also to set me down. But it was also actually to show me some things too. But all these things are like in steps, just like in steps. And I mean, since the beginning, I was being shown things. I mean, my third vision, I would say my third vision was a prophecy. Didn't know it was a prophecy, but it was a prophecy. And the more and more it went on, the more and more I was being shown. When the Holy Spirit sent me a vision of a baby black lamb, ex-false flame asked me, are you Jesus? I said no. But all the times I'm being shown. And then when I get in where I got to, where I was put for a while, is when I started studying the Bible. And the more and more I studied, the more and more I started seeing the spiritual stuff that has been happening with me inside the Bible. And the one thing that I said I don't want and that I'm not, turns out I am. So I tell you, the Holy Spirit puts you in a situation, don't think that it's bad. It's always for your good. And I don't mean you put yourself in a situation. I mean, the Holy Spirit puts you in a situation. The Holy Spirit takes you out of a situation, which quite possibly means that situation is not good for you. So The Holy Spirit is trying to protect you. You know, that's how I see it. That the Holy Spirit is literally protecting you. I wouldn't necessarily think, um, because if you put yourself in a situation is one thing, but the Holy Spirit puts you in a situation as another. Because at that point, the Holy Spirit doing what's necessary to move you along or to remove someone from you that should not be around you. It just seems like the one thing that I really kept saying that I'm not, and no matter how much I try to run from it, I couldn't. And the strangest part, when I think about it, and the Holy Spirit, and I see it in my dream, I hear my mother's voice before I even see her. And as she walked past me, she gave me this really strange look. And I just can't stop thinking about that. I just really, really can't stop thinking about that. How this look she gave me. And I hear her in my dream saying, "Forgive me, Lord." Things I asked the Holy Spirit, I hear recently, like I said before, purchased something from Israel because I felt like I may not ever get to go there. So, like I said, I was talking about the widow's coin. But this thing I purchased, I said the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit said one morning, now they're open. And where I've been sent for a while, in between sleep and awake, I said I will open the books. This was the first thing came to my subconscious when I heard this on a Friday the 13th, which was December. And then that very next day, I found what I was looking for, and it was what I purchased from Israel. I didn't read the details. Once I read the details, it spoke about the book of seals. And then I said, Holy Spirit, if you're trying to tell me what I think you're trying to tell me, I said, you got to prove it to me. And I say, without a shadow of a doubt, I cannot. It has to be. It has to be where it's proven. And I said, Holy Spirit, if someone just come up, you just send somebody come up and say, "Hey, you're the Messiah," I would have been like, and I said, Holy Spirit, I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. I said, do it whatever way you feel. Because if you're trying to tell me who I think you're trying to tell me that I am, I said, yeah, you need to do it in a way that it's undeniable. Like I cannot deny it. 14 days later, I received that fortune cookie. When you get stuff like that, it's past, present, and future. 14 days later, I received fortune cookie and it said, your dreams will guide, your dreams will guide you to an important revelation. And it said tonight. And when I saw that, I just thought about the past. What was said to me on the 13th, Friday the 13th. Now they're open. The first thing come to my subconscious is what I said, where the Holy Spirit sent me to Satan's kingdom. And I said I will open the books. And the very next day, on the 14th, is when I found what I was looking for. When I found it, I didn't get to read the details yet, but when I did read the details, it spoke about the seven seals, the book of the seven seals. It spoke about the root of David, well, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David. So all these things I went through, all these things that the Holy Spirit showed me, my testimony and seeing exactly what was happening, what the Holy Spirit was showing me right here in the Bible. Seeing these things in my lucid dreaming. And the Holy Spirit literally showing me my a fortune cookie, exactly who I am. At that point, it was no denying. Life lessons. That's what we're here for. Some are greater than others. I don't feel that I'm better than anyone. I just have a bigger job. I have some shoes to fill that I don't even think I can feel them. Because I know what I'm here to do. So grateful for what I've been through, what I've seen, what I've been through with the Holy Holy Spirit's brought me through. So if the Holy Spirit puts you in a situation, it's for your own good. Be grateful for it. The Holy Spirit's not going to give you anything that you can't handle. It was touch and go for me. But when I did find out, and when all these things were being shown to me, I mean, like I said, when I first went there, before I went there, I was walking by faith and faith alone. The Holy Spirit started doing things for me, started showing me things. I was walking by faith, but then all the things the Holy Spirit started showing me by sight, it's just can't be ignored. Thing is don't get spoiled by seeing things by sight. You still have to walk by faith as well. I'm gonna leave that there. I want to thank my subscribers, new and old. Thank you all for watching, tuning in. Like I said, I don't get on here unless I really have something to say. So on another note, I bought this camera. I have two of them, thinking I was gonna be able to use them for my podcast, and you wind up spending more money than what you really think that you're gonna spend, because this doesn't hook up to my board. You have to buy a microphone. You have to buy a SD card. I'm still going to get a chance to use it. But I bought it for my business and I bought it for vlogging, but unfortunately it's not going to work with my board, so I have to buy a microphone, which, and I had to buy extra cards, SD cards and stuff like that, so spending more and more money. But it's all for a purpose, and it's all for good, and it's all for my business, and as long as I'm spending it for the right reasons, Next, I'm gonna get rid of this chair and get me a new chair. I've been looking at chairs today because this one is about wore out. I need to get another one. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you all for watching. Messiah out.